Welcome back to the Siege of Liberty. I'm your host, Patrick Henry. Thank you for joining me for this wonderful evening. Last season, the inaugural season, we held nothing back. We exposed it all. We proved the psychochemical assault at the local hamburger drive-thru is directly connected to the secret torture prisons, the North Korea smartphones that trim your vocabulary, the mafia's in charge of the weather, they put the chip in Alex Jones's head to shut him up about the gay frogs, and they spent all the gold in Fort Knox staying smacked out for decades. The entire system is corrupted, from the golf course in your neighborhood all the way to the chambers of Congress, and it was on full display at the State of the Union the other night, which we will get to. But first, Wally, the emotional support alligator, he had the paperwork, he had the legal standing, and yet he was illegally denied entry to the ballpark. That was not a security decision, it was a Lizard Council win. And why? I'll tell you why. Because now the taxpayer gets hit with another massive lawsuit payout. You know, didn't I tell you they want the spending? They want to lose another lawsuit and have another massive payout so they can skim it from both ends, people. But I tell you people, it goes even deeper. Okay, we have untangled the deep state's box of lies. Okay, we have proven that the grizzly bears guarding the pyramid can interbreed with the polar bears. Okay, they are the same soul, they are the different color, but however, we cannot interbreed with the Lizard Council. They are a different species entirely, and they are terrified of Wally the alligator. I'm telling you, Wally is their genetic twin. He has the same genetic blueprint, just expressed in a different form due to epigenetic toggling, okay? Wally sees them for the brothers that they really are, okay? And the council cannot afford for Pam Bondi and Wally the alligator to be alone in the same room together. Why? Because if they're left alone, the biology aligns and suddenly she's out of action because she's got 150 eggs that she's got to lay in the basement of the White House. Ugh! In other news, the robot chicken fight amendment is working its way steadily through the Oklahoma legislature. House Bill 2533 seeks to legalize and regulate non-biological avian combat. Think about that for a minute. They want to preserve the cultural heritage. This is a classic deep state maneuver, and they are training you for the day they put non-biological avians on your plate and tell you to love it. But people, again, last season, I thought we had exposed it all. We certainly put them into a panic. I have been in the trenches fighting the good fight, putting constant pressure on the deep state, from the local level all the way to the top. People, we have lit these fires so hot they cannot be extinguished. We could back off right now and watch the whole thing fall, but that is not what General George Patton would do. Backing off is what the deep state thrives on, people. But people, I have found another way. I bring it to you now. World War II was a pivotal era, a fascinating piece of history, and the robot chicken fights and the lizard breeding schedules are intricately interconnected. The Siege of Liberty has teamed up, and we are no longer just one man in the Liberty Bunker. We are now an integral member of the Supreme Allied Intelligence Network, which is exactly what it sounds like, the Supreme Allied Intelligence Network. We now have access to an incredible store of historical documents and intelligence. We are working with the best minds in the Alliance. The grand conspiracies we exposed last season are starting to look like minor components of a child's game. Like the cocaine monkeys of the Rocket Man. But some of the members of the Alliance have made detailed plans for combating the tyranny we are living under, and we will bring those to you. We are going to bring the mountain down on top of them and burn them as they exit. There will be no mercy, for they have taken a stand against we the people, and they are never to be trusted again. Like I said, I finished last season and I thought I could take a break. I thought we were done, but the deep state's plans are as deep as the black in the slits they call eyes. Last season was one death blow to the deep state after another, and they are and will be reeling until their impending doom. But today, people, I give you the wall they cannot scale. This is the kiddie fence that the rest of us step right over without a challenge, but Donald Trump and the rest of them have spent their entire lives inside of this cage, and they will never be able to climb out because their bellies drag the ground and they have these pitiful little T-Rex arms. This is what I have taken to calling the death grip on the deep state. 5 words. That is all it takes to break Donald Trump. And 5 words, we saw it on full display, live TV, in front of everyone, but no one realizes what they were looking at. We are looking at a man that has done unspeakable things as a matter of morning routine, done it all with a smile, and he was brought to his knees. He was forced to mobilize the entire security apparatus and burn the Constitution right before our eyes to protect him from the one fact that burns his entire world to the ground. Black people are not apes. That is Congressman Al Green's position. I look at that and I say, of course not. You would say, duh, why are we talking about this? Donald Trump, however, was faced with this fact at the State of the Union address, and it broke him right in front of the world. It is the cage they built for themselves. It is the cage of superiority. Donald Trump, the man who has a slick, fast-talking answer for every crime, every bankruptcy, and every State of the Union lie, finally hit a wall he couldn't climb. And it only took 5 words. Black people are not apes. Why did this break him? Because he's been sharing the memes, hasn't he? He's been pushing the narrative of superiority behind closed doors for decades. He believes it in his bones, but he knows that if he speaks it in public, he loses the game. I was shocked. Number one, I finally saw an elected representative speak the truth for 5 whole words with no lies in between. And number 2, Donald Trump has been facing criticism and attacks for years now from every angle. And it's just like Joe Rogan said, it's all like water off of a duck.
Except Trump.
Yeah.
That motherfucker just like a duck to water.
So what do you think?
It just rolls right off of him. He was born to swim in the filthy industrial runoff that is the soup of American politics. What I saw, what we all really saw, was David slaying Goliath. Instead of using a sling and a stone, Al Green used 5 words to burn the deep state to the ground. He forced Trump to look at a truth that his brain cannot physically reconcile with his private beliefs. Trump's head was spinning on live TV because his lizard brain wanted to stand up and debate the point. He wanted to prove his superiority, people, but he couldn't. He was paralyzed. His only move was to have security remove a sitting member of Congress for holding a sign. That is the nightmare scenario. He had to burn the Constitution to save his performance, and he had to send men with guns to remove a 79-year-old congressman with a sign. This is insane. I cannot believe we have overlooked this for so long. Things like, Mr. President, why were you gallivanting with the most epic sex predator of all time? Were you aware that he was eating people? These kinds of questions somehow have had no effect on Donald Trump. But now we know how to make Donald Trump's head explode. This whole time we've been looking for the smoking guns hidden in the Epstein files, but now he has exposed the cage that he built for himself, and we are going to shrink it day after day until he breaks. He was 5 years old on the floor that night. He was struggling to find his big boy words. And if it wasn't for the scripted applause, he would have broken down crying and ran away. Trump has been broken, but he is surrounded by people that remain firm. But we will press our advantage. I'm telling you, this is the kill shot for the tyranny. This is what makes the Wicked Witch of the West melt right before your eyes. This is what drains their souls from their body, and they vanish like a wisp in the wind. Let us go now to Bill Burr, who lays out the design of our strategy.
Like once every 4 or 5 years, you know that? Like some 50, 55-year-old white dude tries to explain why black people are kicking the shit out of white people in practically every major sport, you know? And the one white dude in the middle, he's always like the guy with like the theory. You know, he's always like, you know, it seems these African-American athletes, they seem to have this, and the second the dude says that, like the other two white dudes start like sliding out of frame, like, okay, this guy's getting fired, and I'm not gonna be part of this. He starts like bringing up slavery, and literally 20 minutes later, that dude's on TV, he's like fired, right? He's crying, his family's standing there, he's got like a box of shit from his desk.
So forget the Epstein files for a minute. We don't even need them. We just need to keep asking the one question that turns Goliath into a puddle of melted wax. Mr. President, why is black people are not apes such a controversial position in your White House? He won't answer, he can't answer, and when he finally tries, he is going to jump off the cliff, and the whole herd is going to follow him right into the abyss. The beacon is lit, the kill shot is loaded. I must go now, people, but we will speak again. We've got them on the run, and we will not let up. We will fight them in the chats. We will fight them in the columns. We will fight them on the airwaves and the floor of Congress. Our cause is self-evident and cannot be extinguished. Thank you and good night.